record-breaking speed, top-tier performance. That is a WeiLong Super V2. I think that the Super V2 is an incredibly good cube, which is kind of weird considering the fact that I just don't like the Worm V10, and this cube is heavily based off of it. And I don't like the Worm V10 because of the feel, and because I think the magnets are a bit too strong for my taste. Well, the Super V2 fixes both of those issues. Essentially the Super V2 is just a lighter, more effortless, faster, and just overall more refined, better version of the Worm V10, at least in my opinion. However, despite me really enjoying my time with the Super V2, I do have to say that it sucks out of the box. Out of the box, it's terrible. Like, I unboxed it on stream, and it was really bad. It was just completely uncontrollable. It was really fast, but it was just weird. It felt weird. It wasn't good. It was not good. And on stream, I was like, did I really just spend $80 on this piece of trash? But I will say, with setup, the cube it starts feeling absolutely amazing. So you just need to give it some time to, set up and break it in. Now, starting with the cons, first the big one is that it's pretty expensive. You're spending like $82 for the maglev and $64 for the spring light version, which is, a good amount. But you can get it for 5% off if you use code Alex at thecubicle.com. Now, I have been having some slight corner twist problems. Now, I don't think this is a big problem, and you probably shouldn't worry about it because right now I'm using this cube on some really loose settings, and I'm pretty sure that if I tightened it up, then the corner twist would basically go away. Also, I haven't actually had a corner twist during an actual solve. It's only been during like scrambling and stuff, so again, not a big problem. And those two things are like the only cons of this cube. This cube is like all around really good. Now for the pros, and starting with the feel of this cube is just great. It's very smooth and has a nice hint of crunchiness, which overall brings a very nice premium feel that I do really like. And I think that is much better than the Worm V10, but that's just my opinion. The turning of the Super V2 is incredibly fast, especially with maglev. But the 20 magnet ball core does a really good job of keeping the cube controllable and stable without being too overbearing. Also, the magnetic strength adjustment is a nice add, so you can really dial in your magnetic strength, and it gives a nice range of settings. This cube also has effortless turning, and it keeps it shaped pretty well, and also has pretty good corner cutting. The adjustment on this cube is great. Moyo's dual adjustment system is amazing, and the same can be said for their magnetic strength adjustment. Now, if you get the maglev version of this cube, it also comes with springs, but personally, I prefer the maglev. I've tried both, and I find the maglev just to be a bit more effortless and lightning fast, and I like that. Personally, I use setting 2 for the elasticity, 3 for the center travel, and 5 for the magnetic strength. I also use the Angstrom setup to lube this cube, and I really like the setup. I think it's really good. So do I recommend the WeiLong Super V2? I do not, no. It's way too expensive, but if you don't care about the price, then honestly, this might be the best cube you can buy right now. You literally cannot go wrong with the Super V2. The only reason why I would avoid it is if you absolutely hate fast cubes. Then in that case, maybe don't get a Super WeiLong V2. But if you don't care about that, the Super WeiLong V2 is honest. It might be like the best cube on the market right now. So talking about it being one of the best cubes on the market, it's number 1 on my list. And it would have been number 1 easily if it wasn't for one cube, and that one cube being the GAN 15. I really like the GAN 15. I think that, when you talk about effortless turning and ultra lightweight cubes, the GAN 15 is in a tier of its own. Yes, the Super V2 is lightweight and it is effortless, but again, I think the GAN 15 is just in a tier of its own in that department. But I do think that the Super V2 just performs better and is overall a better cube and a more appealing cube than the GAN 15, and that is why I put it at number 1. I have been maining this cube for the past couple of months, and it's absolutely insane. I have broken all of my PBs. Even as a root user, I still really like this cube. The M slices are actually pretty good. They're definitely not the best ones out there, but again, they're still pretty good. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long this cube will last at the top of this list because, well, the Worm V11 is coming out, and I've heard some pretty good things about it. And, well, Yihang already broke a world record with it, so yeah, I'll try to get my hands on that cube, and we'll see if it's better than the Super V2.